Hey, what's up? It's Matt, and I recently read about a cool hypothetical that I want to share with you. This comes from Think Like a Freak by Stephen D. Levitt and Stephen J. Dubner, who also wrote Freakonomics and Super Freakonomics. Okay, so you are in overtime at the World Cup. You are taking a penalty kick. If you make it, you win. Yay! If you miss it, you don't lose. But you don't win, and that's not as good. So the data show that 75% of penalty kicks are made, right? So that's good, that's in your favor. You just have to decide where you're gonna kick the ball. It makes sense to kick it at the corner because if you kick it perfectly in the corner, they're just not going to be able to save it. But you would actually be 7% more likely to make your shot if you kicked the ball in the middle. Believe it or not, penalty kicks aimed at the middle of a goal are 7% more likely to go in than shots aimed at a corner. So then why is it that only 17% of professional penalty kicks are aimed directly at the middle? There are probably a bunch of reasons. Like, for example, the soccer players probably don't know those stats. If they started kicking it to the middle more, goalies would save them more. It's a very counterintuitive move. But the reason I want to focus on, for hypothetical sake, is the one that Levitt and Dubner postulate, which is the fear of shame. So think about it. If you kick a ball at the corner of a goal, right? Even if you miss, or if by some crazy impressive feat it's saved by the goalie, you can't really be too upset about that because you gave it your all. But if you kick the ball at the middle and the off chance the goalie saves it, you still gave it your all. But to most people, it looks like you just did the stupidest thing possible. If you kick it at the middle and it's saved, you're gonna get way more crap than if you kicked it at the side and it was saved. Both Stevens chalk this behavior to private benefits being more important than public ones. The private benefit not looking like an imbecile, the public one winning the match. But I interpreted this situation a little differently. I see it more as a don't be afraid to be ridiculous thing. You know, I'm sure we can all think of just tons of situations where we've wanted to know something or do something, but we're afraid of looking silly, so we just don't. Maybe you want to raise your hand in class to ask a question and you're thinking, oh, well, the other kids will think I'm stupid, or the teacher moved on a slide, I'm just not gonna bother with it. That's a really small but totally prevalent example of, you know, not doing something you think you want to or should because you think it looks a little ridiculous. And another example I can think of for me is that at Penn State all the time, these trucks will park one half of their side on a sidewalk and the other half on a road. So the truck is literally tilted. I had no idea why the trucks would park like that, so I remember thinking that if I got the chance, I would ask someone in the truck why they do that. And of course, I'm walking by one day and I noticed there's a guy still in the driver's seat and the window's down, and I'm thinking, here's my chance. So I walk by the window and it kind of goes like this. Yeah, I totally just chickened out, and thinking back on this, why? It's not like I would ever see this person again. It's not like there was anyone around me. It's not like literally any harm could have come from me talking to this guy. Well, assuming never mind. I was just too afraid of being ridiculous because I'm sure that that's a question those truck drivers aren't asked typically. But I walked away and I didn't know what I wanted to know. So the next time I saw one of those trucks, I said, I am totally gonna do it. I'm gonna ask. And I did, and I can report now that the reason that the trucks park like that is because they want to make room for other little trucks or cars on the sort of narrow streets. Kind of an uneventful and lame explanation for all the trouble I went through, but that's kind of the point, right? This situation wasn't that intense or pressured to begin with, but I still had trouble getting that question out. And furthermore, I believe that this idea of not being afraid to be ridiculous, you have to apply that to your social life and your friends. Everyone's got their own little quirks, and so the ability to confidently be yourself around other people and accept them when they do that, that's what makes friendship. I'm pretty sure people have also said that's what makes true love, but you know what? A good friendship is just non-romantic love, so I'm chalking it up there. All this talk about love and friendship is really getting me agitated. So yeah, be unapologetically weird with your friends and with yourself. Don't be afraid of looking ridiculous when you're trying to look for knowledge or whatever else. And if you're ever taking a penalty kick in the World Cup, aim the ball at the middle. Unless, of course, the goalie has watched this video, in which case, I'm sorry, I probably hurt your chances. Alright, that's pretty much it. Also, Think Like a Freak, Stephen D. Levitt and Stephen J. Dubner. Good book. It was actually better than I was expecting it to be, so I recommend it. I'll see you later.